Have you ever wondered about the sheer power of nature and its ability to both create and destroy? Today, we're diving into a world where this power is manifested in its most turbulent form: hurricanes. Hurricanes, also known as typhoons or cyclones depending on where in the world you are among the most powerful and destructive meteorological phenomena on Earth. They're vast, spiraling storms that form over warm ocean waters, spinning at high speeds and unleashing torrents of rain and winds that can reach up to 200 miles per hour. These storms can be hundreds of miles across, and the energy released within them each day can exceed the total energy consumption of the entire human race for a whole year. It's a stark reminder of the raw, untamed power of our natural world. Hurricanes are born from a complex interplay of environmental factors, with warm ocean water and moist air providing the fuel for these storms to grow. As the warm air rises, it creates an area of low pressure beneath it, which in turn pulls more air in. This air then warms and rises too, creating a cycle that can lead to a hurricane if the conditions are just right. But what makes a hurricane truly powerful isn't just its size or the speed of its winds. It's the impact it can have on our world. From flattened cities to altered coastlines, the power of a hurricane can be seen and felt long after the storm has passed. In this video, we'll be taking a closer look at 10 of the most powerful hurricanes in chronological order. From the Great Galveston hurricane at the turn of the 20th century to Hurricane Maria in 2017, we'll explore the immense power and devastating impacts of these incredible storms. So, brace yourself as we embark on this tempestuous journey through time and nature's fury. Our journey begins at the turn of the 20th century with the Great Galveston hurricane. In 1900, a storm of unparalleled force descended upon Galveston, Texas. This tempest, later known as the Great Galveston Hurricane, was a Category 4 storm that left an indelible mark on the city and its inhabitants. The hurricane's power was phenomenal, with wind speeds reaching up to 145 miles per hour. But it was the storm surge, a monstrous wall of water over 15 feet high, that wreaked the most havoc. The surge swept over Galveston Island, obliterating homes and businesses and claiming thousands of lives. The devastation was immense. Entire neighborhoods were reduced to rubble, and the death toll was staggering, estimated to be between 6 and 12,000. This cataclysmic event served as a stark reminder of nature's raw power and set the stage for future hurricanes. This hurricane set a grim benchmark for the storms that would follow. Fast forward to 1935 and we meet the Labor Day hurricane. This hurricane was no ordinary storm, it was a Category 5 behemoth that unleashed its fury on the Florida Keys. Its intensity was unmatched, with wind speeds reaching up to 185 miles per hour. This voracious hurricane didn't just blow through the Keys, it decimated them, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The storm surge alone was 20 feet high, swallowing homes, roads, and bridges. By the time the storm had passed, over 400 lives were lost, marking it as one of the deadliest hurricanes in American history. The devastation was profound, and the recovery was long and challenging. The 1935 Labor Day hurricane was a stark reminder of the sheer power of nature. It underscored the critical importance of hurricane preparedness and timely response. It was a hurricane that taught us a bitter lesson, a hurricane that showed us the importance of adequate preparation and response. The late 1960s brought with it Hurricane Camille. A storm of monumental power, Camille is remembered as one of the strongest hurricanes to make landfall in the United States. Born in the warm waters of the Caribbean, Camille rapidly intensified, reaching Category 5 status as she set her sights on the Gulf Coast. The night of August 17, 1969, was one of unforgettable horror for the residents of Mississippi and Louisiana. With winds estimated at over 175 miles per hour, Camille tore through coastal communities, leaving in her wake a path of utter devastation. The storm surge, reaching as high as 24 feet in some areas, obliterated entire towns. The aftermath was a grim testament to Camille's strength. Over 200 lives were lost, and damages soared into the billions. The immense scale of destruction underscored the importance of disaster preparedness and highlighted the dire need for improved disaster management. With Camille, we saw the dire need for improved disaster management. The 90s were not spared from nature's wrath, with Hurricane Andrew making a devastating entrance in 1992. Bearing the brunt of this monstrous storm were Florida and Louisiana, as it swept through with a fierce intensity that's hard to forget. Andrew was no ordinary storm. A Category 5 hurricane, it packed winds that reached a staggering 175 miles per hour. Imagine the power of that gust, the sheer force capable of uprooting trees and tearing roofs off houses. From Florida to Louisiana, the trail of destruction was vast and heartbreaking. Over 25,000 homes were obliterated in Florida alone, and the overall damage was estimated to be around $26 billion. Yes, billion with a B. The aftermath was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, as communities banded together to rebuild their cities and lives. But the memory of Andrew, that remains. Andrew, a stark reminder of the unpredictability and power of hurricanes. Perhaps no other hurricane has captured global attention quite like Hurricane Katrina. In late August of 2005, the world watched in shock as this storm, one of the strongest on record, took aim at the Gulf Coast of the United States. Originating over the Bahamas, Katrina quickly escalated into a force of nature, reaching Category 5 status on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. But it was not just the size and strength of Katrina that made it so notorious. It was the catastrophic impact it had on New Orleans and the surrounding areas. As Katrina made landfall near Buras Triumph, Louisiana, the sheer intensity of the storm overwhelmed the region's defenses. The city's protective levees, designed to shield it from flooding, were no match for Katrina's might. As the barriers broke, around 80% of New Orleans found itself submerged underwater, turning streets into rivers and homes into islands. The damage was beyond anything the region had seen before. Buildings were decimated, infrastructure was uprooted, but most tragically, lives were lost. Official reports estimate that over 1,800 people died as a direct result of Katrina, making it one of the deadliest hurricanes in United States history. The aftermath was equally as devastating. Hundreds of thousands of people were displaced, forced to leave their homes, their city, and in many cases, their entire lives behind. The recovery process was long, arduous, and for some, never-ending. Even today, nearly 2 decades later, the scars of Katrina are still visible in the landscapes and in the hearts of those affected. But amidst the destruction, there were also stories of resilience and unity. Communities came together, people helped each other, and slowly but surely, the city started to rebuild. Katrina was a stark reminder of the power of nature and the vulnerability of our societies. It changed the way we think about hurricanes, about preparedness, and about the strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. Katrina, a hurricane that changed many lives and landscapes forever. Fast forward to 2017, and we meet Hurricane Irma. This tempest tore through the Atlantic with a vengeance, boasting record-breaking winds of 185 miles per hour for a staggering 37 hours. This was the longest period any cyclone anywhere in the world had sustained such intense gusts. Irma's brute force was on full display, leaving a trail of destruction across the sun-soaked Caribbean and pushing into the heart of Florida. The hurricane ravaged countless homes and infrastructure, leaving millions without power. It was a stark reminder of the relentless power of Mother Nature and the vulnerability of our human-made sanctuaries. Irma's impact was devastating, causing a tragic loss of life and leaving communities to grapple with the enormity of recovery and rebuilding. Irma, a hurricane that showed us we still have much to learn about these powerful storms. Hot on Irma's heels came another devastating storm, Hurricane Maria. This fierce tempest brewed in the Atlantic Ocean in September of 2017, quickly intensifying to a Category 5 hurricane. Maria was no ordinary storm. It was a force of nature that brought unprecedented destruction, particularly to the islands of Puerto Rico and Dominica. Maria's winds roared at around 175 miles per hour, making it one of the most powerful hurricanes on record. It was a storm that turned the world's gaze towards the Caribbean as it left a trail of devastation in its wake. Entire communities were flattened, infrastructure was decimated, and sadly, thousands of lives were lost. Puerto Rico and Dominica bore the brunt of Maria's wrath. The storm caused a humanitarian crisis that lasted for months, with power outages, food shortages, and a lack of clean water. It was a stark reminder of the power of Mother Nature and the vulnerabilities of our infrastructure. Maria, a storm that exposed the vulnerabilities of our infrastructure. From Galveston in 1900 to Maria in 2017, we've witnessed the raw power and destructive force of hurricanes. These natural phenomena, while awe-inspiring, have also left a trail of devastation in their wake, altering landscapes and lives forever. Each hurricane has its own story, its own fury, its own impact. We've journeyed through the Great Galveston Hurricane, the Labor Day Hurricane of 1935, Hurricane Camille, Hurricane Andrew, Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Irma, and Hurricane Maria. Each one a testament to the sheer power of nature, and each one a chapter in our collective human history. These hurricanes have been a stark reminder of our vulnerability, but also of our resilience. We've seen communities rise from the ruins, rebuilding homes and lives. We've witnessed the power of solidarity and the strength of the human spirit. These hurricanes, while destructive, also teach us about resilience, adaptation, and the indomitable human spirit. Nature's power is awe-inspiring and its fury formidable. Our journey has taken us through the might of 10 powerful hurricanes, each one a testament to the force of nature. But there's so much more to explore, so many more stories waiting to be told. If you're as fascinated by the world around us as we are, don't miss out. Subscribe to our channel and join us as we continue to explore the fascinating world of nature. Stay curious, stay informed.